Video, a high-speed police chase caught on dashcam near Houston. An officer pursuing suspects after they shot her twice, once in the face. Police have arrested one suspect, and they are hoping the video will help them find the other. ABC's Gio Benitez has the story.
Shots fired, I'm hit.
In newly released dashcam video, you can hear the dramatic calls for help from police officer Ann Carrizales.
All right, I'm still conscious.
She had just been shot in the face and chest during a routine traffic stop. Look here, you can clearly see that gunshot wound. Carrizales, a former Marine, is a wife and mother of two, and over the weekend she pulled over a suspicious car.
It started out like every other traffic stop, but as she began talking with the driver, a passenger in the car opened fire with a handgun.
Hit in the face and her bulletproof vest, she fired back, striking the back window.
What I was thinking at the time was that I needed to stay in this fight and that I needed to do what I needed to do as a police officer, and that was stop these guys.
Watch, even while injured, she's chasing those suspects.
I've been shot in the face, and I know that I'm taking one on my vest.
And calling for backup.
3 Hispanic males. I was shot by the driver's side passenger.
They're bad guys. They were not going to leave my city and do that to somebody else.
She chased that car for 20 miles.
I've lost him. I'm not going to pursue down that street.
Watch as officers rush to her side.
I'm hit twice. I know I'm hit in the chest and face.
I just want to give myself some time to relax and kind of feel the beauty of life that I was blessed to have.
And Carol, in light of what she just said, Carrizales actually went trick-or-treating with her kids last night, so she's healing and in recovery.
My wife is an extraordinary woman, and not just because of what you see on the video. We know it's a possibility that Mom might not come home.
She survived, returning home to her family, in part because of that bulletproof vest.
Bulletproof vest worked, yes, but God saved my life.
An amazing woman. Police arrested the alleged shooter after finding him walking on the street. They're still searching for the driver of that car. Now investigators believe the suspects are gang members who also happen to be undocumented immigrants.
Park 38.
Polaris and Worthington, Frank Mary Tom, 2583. Frank Mary Tom, 2583 on a silver Ford. We're pulling to Tim Hortons up here.
Clear.
I can get from State and County.
You're clear.
Ten-3, he's got a gun. 10-3.
10-3 on 538. At 4 o'clock, there's no one in there.
Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put them up! Put them up! Put them up!
Darrell Brown fired no less than 28 times.
My friend said they were telling people in the first cars to get out of their cars and run. It didn't seem like a smart choice to me. We stayed in our vehicle and turned it around. More policemen arrived. They pulled up next to our car, got out with bulletproof vests on, got behind their car doors, and got in a combat stance.
There was one round fired by a state police marksman from a .308 rifle with a telescopic sight. We believe that it's very likely that this is the round that ended the standoff. If he survives, and we do not expect him to, I do not believe he will ever be found competent to stand trial.
Cops put their lives on the line every day, even during routine traffic stops, because you never know what's going on with the person that is being pulled over. Joining me, retired detective Steve Rogers. You were a cop. Would you agree this driver probably panicked when he saw the flashing red light, because cops say his trunk was full of guns and drugs? He didn't know why the cops were pulling him over.
Jane, what a chilling video. I could tell you that we learn in the police academy that no traffic stop is routine. You never know who's going to get out of that car. But I'll tell you what kind of boils my blood, and I'm sure you'll touch upon this later. I understand this guy had a criminal record, and that's part of the problem we have in police work. A lot of these guys have violent backgrounds, and these judges let them free. And look, we almost lost the life of a hero cop. Thank God we didn't.
Well, let me go over his charges. In 2010, he served 3 months in jail on a drug charge. He was arrested in 2004 for assaulting a police officer and resisting arrest. So I got to go back to you, Steve. As a former police officer, let's assume that for a second, if the cop had flagged him over and he had stopped, would you have run a background check, or would you just have given him a ticket for a broken taillight and let him go on his merry way? Was he panicking for a reason, or was it irrational panic?
Oh, he panicked because he had that arsenal and drugs in his car. And yes, we would actually call for a backup unit. We would do a background check. Had he stayed calm, the officer would have probably never searched that trunk. It was a traffic violation, but he panicked, and look what happened.
Police say the suspect fired 12 shots in 16 seconds, hitting Officer Matt Fox and his police dog. Both are expected to survive, thank God. Then the suspect takes off to his home and grabs an AK-47, and by the way, took his dogs as well from the house. A search of his car revealed the rest of his monstrous arsenal. 5 guns, including an assault rifle, scopes, ammo, a police scanner, knives, 4 machetes. He also had spice, a.k.a. synthetic marijuana, along with about a pound of marijuana inside the cooler that was packaged for sale. Howard Samuels, talk to us about the problem with spice, the synthetic marijuana that is all over the streets of America.
Jane, spice is such a horrible, addictive, violent drug. It is sold in head shops. It's sold online. It's a huge epidemic among our teenagers. And this drug is becoming more and more available because it's legal. But it is dangerous. It creates violent behavior, hallucinations, delusions, panic attacks. But I must say that this is a violent individual in this case. Now, the spice would have taken that violence to another level. So I totally understand with this gentleman being on spice, how he would react like that. But this is a violent criminal to begin with. And that is what is so vital to understand.